Now I will not submit. No. She said, no, I will struggle for my right. I will struggle first. I answered. I watched my chance, and when no one noticed, everybody was busy in taking their breakfast. When nobody was watching me, I just disappeared. I crept up the stairs as quietly as I could in my squeezing because now high pitched shoes are there. Moccasins have been changed by chance in my haste with any shoes along the hall I passed without knowing whither I was going. I just came out of the hall, but I didn't know where I was going. Turning aside to an open door, I found a large room with three white beds in it. I saw a room was open. There were three beds on which there were white sheets, and I entered the room. The windows were covered with dark green curtains, so the room was also dim. There was no light, which made the room very dim. Thankful that no one was there. I was thankful to God, nobody was there. I directed my step towards the corner farthest, that means away from the door. On my hands and knees, I crawled under the bed. I went under the bed, crawling, and stayed there and huddled, squeezed myself in the dark corner. From my hiding place where I was sitting and waiting, I peered. Was trying to see outside, shuddering, trembling, scouring, feeling afraid with fear whenever I heard footsteps nearby. Though in the hall loud voices were calling my name, obviously they all were shouting for me. They were trying to find out where I am and knew that even Jodwin wanted to know where I was. Even she didn't know where I am, searching for me. I didn't let her know where I am going, so she must always also trying to search for me, but I didn't open my mouth to answer. Then the steps were quickened and the voices became excited. They were all in search of me. The sound came nearer and nearer. They were coming very close to me. Women and the girls entered the room. They were all searching for me. They entered the room where I was under the bed. I held my breath. Even the sound of my breath should not go out. Watched them close, open the closet doors, and peep behind the large trunks. Was watching them. They opened the door, turned the doors, and they were trying to look for me everywhere. Someone threw up the curtains. Someone opened the curtain, and the room was filled with a sudden light. Everything was in light now. What caused them to stoop and look under the bed? I don't remember. I don't know what was the idea. Why they try to look under the bed. I don't remember. I remember being dragged out. Afterwards, I only remember that I was dragged out, though I resisted. I tried to stop them by kicking and scratching wildly. In spite of myself, I was carried downstairs and tied fast in a chair. I didn't want to come out, but they dragged me. And I was outside the room. They dragged me downstairs, and I was tied in a chair. I cried aloud. I was trying to shake my head all the while until I felt the cold blade of the scissors against my neck. I was trying my level best. I was trying to push them, kick them, hurt them, but when I felt this blade of the scissors on my neck, I felt helpless and heard them cut off one of my thick braids. One side of the hairs were cut. Then I lost my spirit. I lost my confidence. I lost my struggle. Since the day I was taken from my mother, since the day I have been admitted in this hostel, I had suffered extreme indignities, extreme sufferings, extreme insult at the hands of people. People had stared at me. They looked at me. I had been tossed about in the air like a wooden puppet, and now my long hair was shingled like a coward's. I have been proved to be a coward. I could not save my hair. In my anguish, in my sorrow, in my sadness, I mourned for my mother. I was trying to talk to my mother, but no one came to comfort me. Not a soul who reasoned, but no one came there to quietly with me as my own mother used to do. My mother used to console me sometimes, for now I was only one of many little animals driven by a herder. I have become one among all them because now I have shingled, I have short hairs. So it was the indignity according to the girl. from which culture she belonged or what she has learned from her mother. But when she was in such an atmosphere, in such a surrounding, she was not able to save herself. She had to surrender to the power of the authorities. So that's all about cutting off my long hair.